from the central coast of New South Wales, Australia, it's the #1 podcast for the X-Men animated series. This is Generation X-Men with Bender and Brooksy.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. This is Generation X-Men. I'm Bender, and with me as always is Brooksy.
Hey.
Like the name suggests, we are Generation X-Men, and you are too. If you're new to this, what we'll be doing is going through all 5 seasons of X-Men the animated series, one episode at a time, giving you our thoughts, X-Quiz, tally time, and most importantly, having a laugh as well. Now, Reunion Part 1. What I take away from this is that it's the intro of fan favourites Kazar and Zabu. Not really, because I'd never heard of them before.
You mean He-Man?
I mean He-Man and his pet saber-toothed tiger.
Battle Cat.
Battle Cat. Is that a thing?
You're not a He-Man fan?
No, I've only seen Masters of the Universe with Dolph Lundgren, and that's about it, and there was no Battle Cat there. Have you seen Masters of the Universe?
Yes.
Excellent. It's good, isn't it?
Don't know whether I put it in the good camp, but...
For anyone who's seen Masters of the Universe, revisit it. The scene where He-Man's fighting all the stormtroopers on the roof. One trips over a fallen stormtrooper and comes crashing down on Dolph Lundgren's neck, nearly breaking it, and it cuts to a shot of Skeletor laughing. Now, I don't know if that's an in-joke from the editor, but Corey and I found it one time, and we was just pissing ourselves laughing. It's like, holy shit, this editor has got a sense of humour. So everyone check that out.
Classic. It
is a classic. Now, back. Let's stay on topic here with Kazar and Zabu. But aside from that, it's more or less a big teaser for Reunion Part 2, because not too much happened in this one. We're finally staying in the Savage Land longer than the stupid teaser at the end of every episode. The A plot is finding Morph, and the B plot is Magneto and Professor running around the Savage Land, all climbing up the cliff and carrying on and being rescued and being attacked, and then Kazar pops up, but yeah, you know how it is. You get the tiniest bit of our favourites, the Nasty Boys. Nasty! Not nearly enough. And I'd say a surprise location, which we'll delve into later.
Yeah.
But before we get into that, it's time for X-Quiz.
Pop quiz, Hotshot.
Pop quiz!
Pop quiz, asshole.
Time for a surprise quiz?
Won't be a pop quiz on Wednesday. There's a pop quiz. Pop quiz.
All right, so how many questions you got?
I have 2, because I wasn't paying that much attention to it, because I was like, oh yeah, I've got to write down some X-Quiz, but then I started watching for it, and it's like, there's not a lot here that I can really... So there was a sign that popped up, but I missed, but... yeah, not too much. I've got 2. So how many X-Quiz questions do you have?
I managed to create 4.
4. You're putting that work in, Brooksy. Good on you. So you've got the most. Let's kick it off. Test me.
Well, let's start with an easy one. How many Sky Riders attacked Magneto and the Professor at the beginning?
Well, you just killed one of my questions. I'd say there was 3 of them.
Correct.
Oh, man, this is desperate times. Now I'm rooted. Okay, now I'm probably going to steal one of yours. During the scene towards the end, Sauron's using his hypnotist sort of powers, and he shoots out hypnotist eye beams on the Professor. What colour are his eye beams?
Ooh, are they purple?
Yes, they are purple.
I thought they were purple or red. I couldn't remember exactly.
Red's a bit too close to Cyclops, so they went with the purple. Purple with the little rings around.
Yeah.
That was an interesting sort of effect.
What alias is Morph using as an actor?
Murphy.
Murphy?
Was it something? Wasn't it Xavier Murphy?
That's it.
Yeah.
Correct.
I saw Xavier, and then I saw Murphy. I was like, what's going on here? And then he goes, oh, I'm not that friend. My name's Murphy or whatever. So okay. So it's Murphy.
That was going to be my hint. Was it's got the same last name as RoboCop.
Yeah. I would have said, that's some fancy shooting, son. What's your name? Murphy. Good movie, by the way. Everyone go watch RoboCop.
Here's another easy one for you. What colour is Kazar's hair?
Kazar's not the saber-toothed tiger. It's He-Man. So I'd say his hair's blonde, Brooksy.
Correct. Look at you racking up all the points
All
today.
the points, all the colours. I'm on fire with the colours and the numbers.
You got one more. Let's see if you can get this one.
Get me.
All right, here we go. What is the Professor's coordinates?
No.
At the end of the episode.
I don't know coordinates.
So you've got 2 numbers, and then a direction on the compass, then 3 numbers and another direction on the compass.
Christ. 21 east, 31, 28 west.
Incorrect.
Of course it was. What
It's
was it?
75 southwest and 139 east.
Very good. Have you looked them up? Is it
No,
really
it's
Antarctica?
probably not even right.
Probably not even a thing.
That's just, I don't,
Pat, if you got the Google up, put in those coordinates, see where it's at. Bloody coordinates. Probably where Larry Houston lives. Where he used to live in the 90s.
It's probably a big cock. Like, you seen that one in Australia?
No.
You haven't seen that?
No, I haven't seen it.
So there's some place down in Victoria. You type it in, and then you zoom in on it, and someone's doing this massive cock
Oh, dear
in
me.
this like dried up creek or something like that. It's
Bloody-
great. It's all over the internet.
Bored Victorians. Is that like the big man that they found out in the fields or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
that
yeah.
Dick Smith wants to find? Who drew that?
Yeah, so what are you going to give him $1,000?
This was $5,000 or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Was it? Well, if I'd have known, I'll go out in the middle of the Central Coast and draw some big person.
There you go.
I'll draw my face, my signature. But anyway.
Could have done a Generation X-Men.
Oh, there you go. Well, then we could have gone, I don't know, might infringe on copyrights or something. They wouldn't show it on the news.
Previously on X-Men.
So in this previously on X-Men, we just get everything we've ever seen about Savage Land. They didn't need to have any of those in any of the episodes. They could have just played it right here, and it would have been better. It was more enjoyable than it was in every other episode.
I think so, yeah. You could get all the snippets and turn it into one long episode. It'd just be too many character intros, though.
So yeah, that's all we got for
That's-
previously
that's-
on X-Men.
A straight up it.
That's it.
All right, it's time for the breakdown. Is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
okay.
was just waiting.
Break it down. Now it's time for a breakdown.
Breakdown.
So today we are doing episode number 25, season 2, episode 12, Reunion Part 1. The original air date for this one was February 12, 1994. It was written by Len Wein and directed by Larry Houston.
On you, Larry, but I'm a little disappointed because this is written by Len Wein. Not really a dynamic episode.
No, but you still see his sort of flavours on it. The shots of Wolverine is
Yeah, there's a bit of Wolverine favoritism.
Yeah.
I think there's like a lot.
understandably.
Understandably because it's his guy. But I thought, oh man, I really like Len Wein. I really liked Repo Man. How come this one's? I think it's because it's not Wolverine. He's not really allowed to. He just wants to write Wolverine stuff. So why they give him this? I just
Dunno.
give him all the Wolverine episodes. But anyway, yeah, I was a little disappointed with this one after finding out that.
So the episode starts with a bunch of pictures of dinosaurs.
That's right.
All these different dinosaurs, they're drinking and trying to bite things out of it. What did you say about the first?
The very first shot, I think it was like there was a mosquito in the foreground, a velociraptor in the background. It was so foggy and scratchy. I was like, man, this is a lot of cell dirt on this on this particular shot. So you couldn't recall that. Who was animating this? They'd forget to clean the goddamn camera when they were doing it because it was just scratchy as hell. I thought it was like a fog rolling in or something. Oh, it must be a fog effect. I was like, is that rain? Because there's a lot of vertical and horizontal lines coming across. It's not just one dirty ass cell. I was like, oh man, you could have cut that, Larry. That's why I want Larry to release a book to explain why all the shots are, all the goofy sort of cheap shots are in there because, yeah, why was that shot in there for? Clean it up.
Filmed on a potato.
Just shot on a potato.
So then we see the Professor and Magneto, and they're climbing up this cliff. And
Cliffhanger.
they're going back up towards where the Professor's plane landed.
That's right. After the Quinjet or whatever, the Scout Jet.
Yeah, the Formula One jet.
Yeah.
And then suddenly they're under attack by 3 pterodactyl riders, the Sky Riders.
Sky Riders. That's a cool name. But turns out they're really garbage at what they do.
Because they're all just armed with one spear. Like, they can't have multiple
They
spears.
don't have a quiver of
anything.
spears or
No,
something, or
just
whatever you store spears on.
one spear, miss. And then the Professor knocks out 2 birds, 1 stone. Throws 1 rock, knocks 2 of them down.
There's a left-handed throw too, so he's doing well. On a cliff, takes out 2 pteranodons. Like, these are the worst. These are the worst Sky Riders ever. Was it their first day on the job?
And then, so there's only 1 left, and he's got a knife. So
Yeah.
what's he going to do with the knife? Like, what, are you going to throw that at him too?
He's got not in range because pterodons can't hover.
No.
And the effective lethal range of a knife is as long as your arm. What's he got to do with that exactly?
So he flies in close, and Magneto does a little bit of gymnastics here and jumps on the protruding branch from the cliff and swings around, knocks him off.
Gives him the single bar double leg stick.
There you go. I knew you'd know what it was. And then they make it to the top, and miraculously, the plane has survived, as they have.
Yeah, no snow on it from all this avalanche that's been happening.
The avalanche totally missed it. And then, all the snow disappeared somewhere else because it wasn't anywhere near the cliff where they just climbed
The
up.
sun must be a bit hot up there. It's burned all the snow away.
And then we hear, not for long.
Comes shit toad.
Old shit toad amphibious. And, shit Goro barbarous. And we Vertigo, and there's a new one here, the Big Wolf Man.
Yeah, he doesn't get his
It's
own.
Lupo.
Lupo.
Yeah.
Lupo the albino wolf.
My mutates.
Oh, please do not abandon us again.
The Professor and Magneto, they get captured here. And then Vertigo gives them the old knockout juice.
Gives them the business,
Yeah.
and they're out like a light.
Yeah, there's a lot of other dialogue there I decided to skip on because it's just...
It's very skippable
worthless.
dialogue.
Yeah.
It's just no, the master. Oh, shut up, Amphibious. Even Magneto punks in there. It's how useless Amphibious is. No powers, Magneto. Toss us Amphibious away.
Run to a rock.
Onto a rock. Hopeless, Amphibious. No.
So then we go back to Jean, Cyclops, and Wolverine. And they're all in their civvies, and they're hot on the heels of this distress call that they've got.
It's a weird triangle team to put together.
Yeah,
like,
it is.
as if one dude's got the hots for another dude's girlfriend, you're not going to team up.
No.
It's just going to be weird. It's just going to be cracking on my girlfriend the whole time.
So there's like a tape recording, and it's like Morph, or it sounds like Morph calling for help. And then Wolverine says, if that ain't Morph, I'll eat the blackbird.
Yeah, sort of, come rescue me, stay away, come rescue me, all that sort of stuff. Morph is sort of like, he doesn't have the dark Beetlejuice circles around his eyes no more. I think that's it for that design. We don't see him like that again.
No.
So, they must have just got lazy with it.
So they land the blackbird in some sort of like a fairground sort of thing. There's like a big top up.
Yeah, the big top.
And then this is the sign I think you were talking about here. It says Branston Theatre presents Xavier Murphy starring in Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And then it says underneath, run extended indefinitely.
Oh, really?
So yeah, they're digging on it. As we see the crowd, they're loving it. They are loving it.
Well, it's live special effects because Morph has really picked the best sort of play to do because he can just transform into Mr. Hyde. I was thinking, are there any other plays that he could have do a transformation? So maybe Invisible Man, but he can't turn invisible.
No.
But he's picked the perfect play.
So they come inside, and we see a guy on stage as Jekyll, and he takes a potion, morphs into Hyde, and then Wolverine's like, "It's him! Come on, let's grab him!" And then Cyclops is like, "Oh no, let's wait till he finishes." It reminded me of like the Blues Brothers, where John Candy comes in and he's like, "I haven't heard these guys play. Let's go sit down."
All right, haven't even heard him play.
He goes, sits down. Who wants an orange whip? Orange whip, orange whip, orange whip. 3 orange whips.
3 orange whips. It reminded me of the Simpsons episode where he goes, I told you we should have bought more than 3 bullets. Let's just grab him. It's like,
so they sort of wait till he finishes here, and then the crowd is just loving it. And I noticed there's like an Amish Wolverine in the crowd, and he is loving it.
they're into it. They're cheering.
He's whistling.
Oh, yeah, for those playing at home, this is the fancy location we were telling you about, and we'll tell you what it is later.
So yeah, Morph's really found his calling here. This is great for him.
It's 100% him. He should, so figure, okay, you go to Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters, you master your power, and from here on in, okay, I'm an actor now because I can change into whoever I want. I'd have left the X-Men ages ago if I was Morph. I was like, okay, I can change into whoever I want. Actor, got it made in the shade.
So he walks off stage, and now Cyclops is like, "Come on, we don't want to lose him."
We could go out the back door.
So Cyclops, Jean, and Wolverine follow Morph backstage, and then we get a shot of Sinister watching them. So yeah, he's there too.
They walk straight past Sinister, where obviously if they just looked to the left, they would have seen Sinister standing in plain sight. But because we can't see him, they can't see him. It's bloody movie and TV rules. And then he does a really long laugh. One of many
Yes.
in this episode.
He loves his maniacal laughs. So Cyclops walks into the backstage area. He's like, nice performance, friend. And then Morph's like, oh, who are you? And Wolverine says, you can cut the act, Morph. We got your invitation. And then Morph sort of looks around and puts his finger to his lip. And then he's like
a shh.
Morph, never heard of him. My name's Murphy. So then he sort of morphs back into his X-Men uniform. And so he's never changed clothes, like you don't get Morph in civvies.
No,
We've
no
never
Morph
seen
civvies.
him.
So he said Morph in uniform with brown leather jacket with sleeves rolled up, but we don't see Morph civvies.
So he tells the X-Men to get away from here and that he is watching. And then Morph's trying to throw down the whole episode of what's going on here. He's like, he wants you and Jean, and he has the professor, and then
And he gives him the shut up button.
he's spilling too much of the plan.
Too much of the plot.
Yeah, so Sinister hits the old watch button and shocks Morph. And he probably should have done that a bit earlier, so he didn't tell him everything.
Oh, well, that's just for us.
And Jean's like, don't worry, we won't leave you. Wolverine's got my favourite line of the episode here. He's like, come on, Batface, show yourself.
Batface. That's such an odd sort of thing to call somebody.
And then we get Boom first claw draw of the episode. And then we see a big purple hand come out from under the
We
tent.
know that means.
And you know who that is.
Our favourite, Gorge George.
Yeah, he's back. With all of the other nasty boys.
It's nasty.
So you got Slab, Hairbag, Ruckus. They're all back. And then Sinister says, careful with Summers and Miss Grey. And he starts laughing again. So then we get a wipe here to the Savage Land.
Is this an X-wipe?
No, it's just the
regular
side
one?
wipe.
Ah, right.
Yeah.
Yep.
What do you call that one?
So I think it's a linear wipe.
All right.
Yeah, left to right, linear wipe.
What is it, right to left?
Same thing, but it's just going right to left. Right. I think, I couldn't tell. I think they even generalise it's just a wipe. They don't even put any sort of business on the front because that's the standard sort of wipe, I believe.
So yeah, wipe to the Savage Land, and the mutates are leading the Professor and Magneto back to the Citadel. But they're being watched by He-Man and Battle Cat. No way, it's not them.
Or Kazar and Zabu. Zabu with a Z, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's Zabu.
Yeah, I heard it as Shabu. I thought, what's Shabu? And then later on it's like Zabu. I was like, oh, it must be with a Z.
So yeah, this guy doesn't have the power.
He's got nothing.
No power of Grayskull for this. And he hates Magneto.
He really does. He's given it to Magneto at every chance he can. Verbally trolling him.
So he's happy as long as the mutates have him. That's okay for now. But later he'll get when the moment is right, Kazar will have his revenge. He says.
He speaks in third person,
which I guess turns out to be right now.
Because he gets a jump on him, right?
Because he just runs out now into like this herd of 3 horns.
3 horns.
Why can't they call them Triceratops? It's exactly the same thing.
That's right. Or well, maybe he does. Yeah, Triceratops seems like a English language sort of was it family order genus file sort of Latin name for them.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have all that sort of fancy language in Savage Land, so he calls them the 3 horns. But surely he'd come up with a name for them.
Kazar also tells Zabu here, the Sabretooth, that he needs his strength. And all they do is run around and like push these tri-horns.
Herds the triple horns.
Yeah, that's not strength. Like, what are you doing, mate?
Well, I imagine if 3 Triceratops see just an average height man running at them, they're not going to do anything. But if they see a saber-toothed tiger, they might be a little bit more fearful. But that being said, a Triceratops is way bigger than a saber-toothed tiger. Couldn't they just gore him?
Yeah.
Stay away. It looks like it could gore.
So they managed to stampede them back towards the group. And then when they come out of the tree line, Kazar's riding on the front one.
So stupid. And I may say, to add on this stupid, he's got the worst battle cry since Xena Warrior Princess.
Hey, come
on. That's why you say that.
Don't be picking on Xena now, right?
It popped up in my Instagram feed the other day. Xena Warrior Princess on El Rey Network. So, oh my God.
Awesome. Get that shit on.
I wish the El Rey Network was around the world. It was only in America. I was curious to watching it again.
You want to start Xena podcast?
Not particularly. It got very...
Throwing that thing at everyone.
throwing that weird circular... They had like frisbees like that in primary school.
Yeah,
so whenever you had to go play one, you was just pretending to be Xena. Anyway, we've gotten off topic here.
It's only Xena. It's all good. You can talk about Xena as much as
Talk
you
about Xena all the time.
So Kazar leaps from the front Triceratops and knocks old Goro over.
Shit Goro.
Terrible Goro. Barbarius.
Worst Goro.
And the Professor, Magneto, and Kazar escape. So once they're safely away, the Professor tries to thank Kazar, who grabs them both by the collar, holding them up. And he's like, keep your gratitudes. Who are you? And why have you brought the devil Magneto back to our land?
Hates Magneto.
And he also says here, if he had not created those cursed mutates, our people would not have been enslaved, and his wife, Shana, would not be imprisoned.
Shana.
Shana the she-devil. So Magneto and Kazar have a little bit of a biffo here.
Yeah.
Before the Professor jumps in and he says,
Whatever his past crimes, Magneto is not to blame for your current troubles. The mutate called Amphibious told us he was obeying the orders of someone he called Master.
it's someone else, mate. The Kazar says, it must be Sauron then. Yeah, Sauron.
That's definitely who it is.
And the Professor asks, how can they help? Kazar's a bit iffy about trusting Magneto again, but he doesn't have a choice. So he says, if Magneto betrays me again, you, Xavier, shall suffer my vengeance. And then he's like, it's Xavier. So when did he learn his name?
Oh, yeah.
2 seconds ago. Who the hell are you? Now, Xavier, you're going to die if Magneto double crosses me.
Solid point. Maybe there was a deleted scene. I'm Charles Xavier. And that's when Thingo grabs him.
So then he pulls out his knife and draws a big cock in the dirt. And that's their plan for tonight. They're going to fuck the Citadel.
It's symbolic. Oh, dear me.
And they said,
This podcast's very X-rated at the moment.
tonight they're going to raid the Citadel or perish trying.
Yes, no die talk.
So this is when we get the X-wipe. And we go back to Cyclops and the nasty boys.
I shall go to great lengths to be of service.
So old Gorgeous George and Hairbag, they grab Cyclops and Jean quickly before Wolverine breaks free. He runs up behind Sinister, slashes him in the side. Yeah. How good's that?
Enough a dog shot. I love Sinister when he's around because he always gets a dog shot on him.
Very thoughtful, George. Now, let's...
So Sinister seems to heal from his wounds pretty quickly. He jumps to his feet and he's like, enough! Blasts Wolverine into a tree. And Gorgeous George is holding Cyclops and Jean. Jean removes Cyclops' glasses and he blasts George's face off. And then he yells the Terminator line, get down!
Get down!
And Cyclops says, I want Sinister! And he's blasting everyone. And then Sinister sort of jumps to avoid the blast. And it's sort of like a video game where he just goes...
Yeah. But he cops it in the knee, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Gets tackled in air penalty.
Yeah, he cops another one to the leg and then to the chest.
I want Sinister! Come on.
It's not on his back, so it's not as good.
Yeah.
So then Cyclops advances on Sinister. He's like, come on, Sinister, you want me? Here I am. So there's more blasts at him. And then Ruckus starts screaming. He screams for Ruckus. Like, Ruckus!
He calls for the Ruckus attack.
And he screams at the X-Men, which knocks them all out.
Yeah, he gives them the business.
And we go back. Then we go to an ad break there.
Yeah.
So when we come back from this ad break, we get this pan shot across to see Sinister's plane.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And in the foreground, first you see two kangaroos, then you come across, and then you see a koala in the tree.
We're in Australia,
It have to
everybody.
be.
It has to be Australia. So Morph has flown to Australia. He's had enough of America and Africa and Brazil and wherever the hell he was. He's come all the way down under. So, hey, we finally got an episode that we can call home.
There we go.
Unfortunately, it's not a very good episode.
And we're not there for too long.
We're not there for too long. Was that the correct tree that the koala was sitting in?
It's probably not. I don't know. They all look the same.
They all look like a big American oak or whatever. So those trees aren't around here. And I doubt that koalas would be out in the open wherever the carnival was at.
Nah, probably not. All the koalas are always way up top of the tree too. They're not going to be that close to the dingo.
Or maybe they were at like a petting zoo or something. These ones have got out.
Yeah.
Just out of shot was just the fences holding these bastards.
Parked his plane at the reptile park.
Yeah, it was on the Central Coast, even closer to us. I have to check. Hey, you doing any sort of plays of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde?
It's Morph.
No, sir, we're the reptile park.
So Hairbag and Slab here dragging Wolverine along the ground. Before he comes to, he grabs Hairbag, throws him at Slab, and he pops claws to and avoids Sinister's blast, and he leaps at Sinister, but he's caught by like Gorgeous George's sleeve.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And then he throws him backwards. Sinister then throws Morph towards Wolverine.
Do something.
Tells him stop him.
And just gives him a huge judo throw, which launches him like 10 meters.
Yeah, he does nothing, just slides along the ground. And Wolverine's still coming at Sinister, and then he slices straight through Gorgeous George and onto Sinister, who just catches his arm and then blasts him backwards with the other hand. That was pretty cool.
I find that Sinister is probably the most accurate with his palm beams.
Yeah.
Everyone else seems to sort of miss. Should go through it and see who has the most hits from shots taken.
Cyclops is way down the bottom.
He's at the bottom of the barrel.
Blasting everywhere.
I think it'd be. Might be Apocalypse. Might go Apocalypse, Sinister, 1,000 other people, and then Cyclops down the bottom. Because I find the Sinister is pretty accurate with his blasts.
Sinister's line is, "Keep your distance, little man."
He's got no interest in Wolverine at all.
And then Wolverine notices Slab taking off with Jean, which sends him into a rage.
Yeah, he doesn't like that. Doesn't like that one.
Keep your hands off my woman. And he leaps and tackles Slab. And then they're rolling around on the ground before Wolverine gets on top of him. He's like, "You picked the wrong girl, fat boy."
He's about to stab him.
Yeah, and he's got that glisten comes through his claws. And he's just about to stick him in the back. And then before he gets a big branch, bang, right in the back of Wolverine.
And it was Jean Grey, but it was Morph pretending to be Jean Grey.
That's right. How are we going with that montage with the dog shots? We need to get that up.
All right, I'll try and get it done. I've got some time off coming up soon, and I'll be able to get all the montages you need.
So many dog shots. I love dog shots.
They're funny. Of just Sinister, you want every dog shot?
Every dog shot.
Man, I'm going to have to watch a lot of X-Men. A lot more X-Men.
So Sinister takes off with Jean, and he leaves Cyclops and Wolverine in the dust. And this is where, like, Cyclops is running around. No! He's, like, trying to fire his laser beams.
He's going mad. They're flying away, and he's just shooting at anything. He managed to tag the wing of the jet, and then just misses every other time.
Yeah, that has nothing. Doesn't do any.
Nah.
It
just reminds me in the first Lethal Weapon when Riggs is shooting after the helicopter, and there's no way he's going to hit it. There's like going a kilometre away, and he's just firing with a pistol. It's like, Riggs, save the ammo, mate. That's not putting a dent in anything.
So back in the Savage Land, the Professor and co are rafting towards the Citadel along the lake. And this is when they're attacked by Nessie again. Nessie's back. But this time the water's blue. It's not pink anymore.
Is it a Loch Ness or is it just like a submerged Diplodocus? What do we reckon?
I don't know. I like calling it Nessie.
Let's call it Ness.
I like that. It must be Magneto's just conjured Nessie.
He's made a Nessie. Loch Ness monster.
So to avoid Nessie killing them, Kazar climbs on Nessie's back and does like a mating call. And then jumps off before Nessie takes off. Is this what happened there? Or is that what you take?
I guess so. I don't know what he was doing. I just don't like that battle cry. It doesn't make sense.
Should just gave it 350. Would have gone on.
Yeah, give it 350.
Then the Professor says, "There seems to be a chill wind tonight." And Kazar says, "The one that's been blowing since the day Magneto came to the Savage Land."
I was Magneto. I was like, all right, that's enough.
Enough with this shit.
You need to build a bridge and get over it because this shit is getting tired.
And then, Magneto goes, "Times change. People do not."
He got him again. He got in another one.
Oh, man. Why? So Magneto finds a secret passage here into the Citadel through the rocks.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's going to bring them up directly behind the lab. And then old Zabu, he's not happy. Gets a bit worried as they start walking up. Because they walk straight into a trap. Everybody's there. That's where they were going to take him anyway. So Kazar and Zabu seem to have had enough. They run straight to the closest open door, leap into the water.
Yeah, it's like...
Are they trying to kill themselves?
Yeah. What happened to the die trying plan? It's like, nah, this doesn't work for me. Let's get out of here, Zabu.
No, okay. All right, you're here. See you later.
Just really hates Magneto. Just dropped him off.
So Barbarius is keen to chase them, but then they already have the Professor and Magneto now. So you hear this voice say, "No, let the animals go for now.
No.
We have the two we really wanted."
Oh, I hate this person.
And there's this short guy with a huge head.
Oh, big head.
He's wearing an upside-down crown, and he's got red suspenders and a red diaper. And he's got a big CD belt buckle and red sweatbands. This is Brainchild.
Brainchild is the second worst character next to Mojo, I reckon, and they're in back-to-back episodes.
Oh, come on, big head.
I can't stand Big Head. Oh, jeez. And his voice so annoying, too. Hate those minion voices. Now we'll wait for the master to come home. Shut up.
The Professor asks, "Is he the master?" And Brainchild's like, "Silence, no. I am merely the keeper of these devices while the master is away. You may call me Brainchild.
Oh, dear.
Now chain them to the wall. There is work to be done."
They don't use chains here.
No, they're just the bloody dodgy...
Weird, gross green root tentacles. Hate them.
They put Professor and Magneto up against the wall. Vines come out and grow over their hands. And then... we've seen this before in Sinister's layers before.
Yeah, he loves those vines, those little things.
So then Sinister turns up now with the rest of the Nasty Boys and Jean.
They suddenly turn up. Suddenly Sinister.
Suddenly Nasty.
Suddenly Nasty. And they're just in the room. Like, didn't they just have a shot of them walking in or the jet landing? They're just there.
Yep, just bang, gone, there.
Efficient storytelling, I guess.
So the Professor meets him for the first time. Because the Professor hasn't met Sinister before.
All right.
And then Magneto is like, "I've heard of him. I've heard the name. Frankly, I'm not impressed." Jean's very happy to see the Professor here. And she runs over to him and they sort of hug, but neither of them have arms. So
they can't hug. See, he's been restrained and her hands are behind her back. Another lethal weapon thing. Same thing happens to Murtaugh and his daughter.
So we get a bit of explanation here. Sinister explains that he took tissue samples from Sauron and put it into this device, which enables it to draw energy from the mutants in the Savage Land, rendering their powers inoperative. So that's why they can't use their powers in the Savage Land.
Oh, right.
I would reckon that's the same in the comics.
Is it?
You reckon it is?
I'm
That's
not
what
too
I'm saying.
sure. Oh, well, we'd have to check with our comic source, Pat. But
Pat or Scotty, you have to get back to us.
Yeah, I think it's me remembering for the first time that was the machine that caused it, because I didn't remember. I thought it was just the Savage Land in general that drew all the powers away. But no, it's just a big machine that does it with Sauron's power suck in there. So I didn't know Sauron had the power suck. I thought he just flew and he could hypnotize people. So he's kind of like that Leech. What's his name? Leech? Leech is the one who takes the powers?
Yep.
Yeah. So he's got a bit of that in him as well.
So the Professor's like, "Oh yeah, well the mutates don't seem affected." And then the Sinister pats like
the
now
belt.
Very visible silver belt that he's wearing.
Yeah.
And he says that they have taken precautions.
So it's kind of like a reverse mutant collar. So it's in belt form.
And he also mentions here, I didn't know that it would allow you to walk as well. So do you remember the answer to that question?
Yeah, I do. It's when Professor X and the Shadow King were fighting, remember?
Right, yeah.
And that's when the Shadow King crippled him in the brain during the fight and made him unable to use his legs. So it's not any sort of nerve damage. It's just connected to his powers somehow. It's because it was like a bad telepathy battle.
Right.
So you forgot about that in the Shadow King. You just eliminated all knowledge of that episode.
Shadow King.
That's what we were saying, that would have been a better episode than
I
what we
remember
got.
that.
Xavier and Shadow King duking it out in the astral plane.
Do we have another thing where he falls off a horse?
I thought that was just a myth brought on by someone that we knew from tumbling. She said, "Oh, I thought he fell off a horse," and that cracked Crowther up, and that just became urban legend. I don't know, maybe it's a thing, but I remember reading on Shadow King that that's how he lost his power, and then got excited and depressed that they didn't show that. as an episode, because that would have been sick. But maybe if there's an episode coming up where you see him falling off a horse, it's just not explained in the animated series at all. We have to look it up.
So Magneto then asks, what does he want? And then he says, your very essence.
Always after the essence.
And then we see Morph, his sort of head flash, and Sinister's like, boys, Morph is about to do something we might all regret.
Yeah.
So Hairbag dives over and knocks him to the ground.
Just tackles him.
Before he's trying to get the gun out now to
Yeah,
shoot
yeah,
him.
the plasma gun. How did Sinister know this? Did he see him or he just sensed it?
He must have, because he's got the watch to knock him out, to do the buzzing.
Probably
so.
buzzes like a Fitbit. Morph's about to
Morph got
betray
to
us.
fuck you up.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. The Morph says, better to die an X-Men than to live as your slave. As they're hooking him to the wall with everyone else.
Sinister gets pissed here and chokes him, right? Why you little...
And Sinister says, all there is now is for the professor to call his students here. And then the professor starts to argue with him.
So I'm not doing that. Go fuck yourself.
And then we hear from the background, it says, you speak as if you have a choice. And this is where we see Sauron. So I think this is probably the first time we've heard him speak, haven't we? We saw
That's
him
right.
in the last
He
episode.
carried away Shana
Yeah.
a couple episodes ago. And that's about it. And this is the first time we see him speak. And Magneto introduced him in the other episode. The Sauron, we can't beat him. He's too strong, whatever.
And he says, look at me, O Xavier, and obey. Resistance is futile. Obey me. Obey.
Yeah, it's real nasty seeing that one. Obey.
So Sauron's advancing on the professor using his powers come out of his eyes, the old purple beams.
Purple beam eyes.
And the professor's putting up a good fight. And everyone's sort of on his side. Come on, Professor.
You could do it. And he says, like, this man resists like no one else.
Yeah. Magneto says that you're going to piss off the most powerful mutant on Earth. Then everyone else is going to hunt you down to avenge Xavier. And then the professor's like,
Won't listen. Can't listen. Too many people who depend on me. Can't allow you to control my mind. Won't allow you to
Yeah, this is where we see Cyclops, Jean, Beast, Rogue, Gambit, Storm. Jean's already there. Why is she coming up? So then in the end, Sauron prevails. He's got the Professor under his control. Then Sinister walks over and he's like, oh, Charles, wakey, wakey. And the Professor's like, what do you want from me, Master?
Ooh, and he's got the monotone hypnotized voice.
And Sinister starts laughing maniacally again.
Master.
So we cut to the mansion. The Professor comes on the Cerebro of the overhead screen, the big TV. And then he's like, they were like, oh, it's good to see you, mate. Where you been? It's probably not the exact dialogue, but yeah.
Professor you old Shagger, where you been? Why don't you pick up your phone, you lazy bastard?
You staying off the darts?
You weren't tying one on, were you?
Yeah, old Shag. And he tells them to a rendezvous with them in the following coordinates, and this will just fuzzes out. The coordinates written on the bottom of the screen, just he's gone. And the Beast isn't convinced. He's like, this doesn't look good. What's
it's
going
a
on
really
here?
long line here. The Professor's lack of emotion suggests coercion.
That's it.
Cohesion, or whatever. I was like, oh, that's an interesting line. Why do you got to make it sound so difficult?
And he asked Gambit to trace a transmission, but then they're interrupted because the Blackbird's just returned. And this is when Cyclops comes in. Cyclops Beast there, like, we have to talk.
At the same time, that's right. Jinx, buy me a Coke.
Then the X-Men all get into the Blackbird and knowingly fly straight into a trap, which suits Wolverine.
Just fine.
Somebody is holding Xavier. I'm gonna enjoy making him let go.
And he has another claw draw inside the Blackbird.
Wolverine, you got to stop doing that inside, mate.
So then they're flying over to the Savage Land, and then Cyclops is like, brace yourself, people, we're going in. Then they descend through the clouds and out of sight. And it just says, to be continued.
And that's the end of that chapter.
So what do you think of this episode, Brooksy?
Well, it was a return to a bit of a better episode than last.
Oh, yes, we found form again, but in comparison to the last episode, anything would have been better.
Yeah, it was a lot better structured episode. Everything come together in the end. Everyone's in the same place.
We're all building up to this next episode.
Big builder of an episode, ready for number 2.
But overall, it just felt like a teaser for number 2 for me.
Yeah, not too much action, a little tiny bit there with nasty boys.
Nasty boys. So that's the thing. They've got great stuff to work with, the Nasty Boys, especially Gorgeous George, but it just happens all too quickly. They just get wiped out too easily. I mean, Gorgeous George should be his own sort of villain. I'd put him next to, like, I don't know, Omega Red or Sabretooth. He doesn't need to be in the team. He's got so much going on with his powers. But, yeah, overall, I wasn't super impressed with this episode. All I could say is, like, it's a teaser for the next one and better than the last one.
So what was your favourite part?
I've written that down. I wrote down that it was the Charles hypnosis scene, and I put that down because it seems really intense, really scary, and really out of place for a children's TV show. There's like a lot of flashes, a lot of resistance, a lot of torture and pain, which I would say is a no-no in TV shows and cartoons and movies in general, because those tend to be the worst, sort of most hard to watch scenes, because when you see like a hero being tortured or in peril, it's like they don't test well with audiences because it makes it feel uncomfortable. But I just like that scene and admired the balls on the showrunners and the director just to include a scene that is that harrowing. But there's no other cool badass moments, funny moments or anything like that in this episode, which was so forgettable and so that's why I went with the intense scene. And what was your favourite bit?
It's probably when Wolverine broke free a slab, sliced in the back sinister.
Well, that's pretty funny. What was your favourite quote then?
Wolverine's, "Come on, Batface, show yourself." That was a great Batface.
So I went with Beastline right at the end because it was so weird. The professor's lack of emotion suggests coercion. Or I went with Sinister's line, "Exquisitively poor timing, I'm afraid." But I can't remember what it was for. I think it was when Morph tries to betray them.
Yeah.
It's just a really funny line from Sinister.
Exquisitely poor timing, I'm afraid.
Because he's outnumbered, and it's obviously poor timing, but he just worded in a really fuck you sort of way. The Sinister gets a win. I'll give it to Sinister over Beast. That's a funny line.
So how do you rate this one?
So it was pretty average for me. So, and I didn't hate it, didn't love it, so 5.
5?
In and out 5.
I've given this one a 6.5.
6.5? Really?
That's the same as what I gave Till Death Do Us Part 1.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I think it's solid.
It's on par with that one, you reckon?
It's not bad, but yeah, 6.5.
Not bad,
sounds
not
good.
great. Yeah. Well, I don't know what I would have done to make it better. Just more action, maybe. Have more stuff happening, because it just felt really lackluster in terms of the action, and they weren't really telling any big stories. So why not go all out with the action? Have some more nasty boys, more Gorgeous Jaws saying cool Australian shit, and
more Triceratops riding,
more 3 horns. No thanks. More random dinosaurs, just more of everything.
more He-Man.
More.
I thought it was gonna be He-Man.
No, I would have made use. If we're in Australia, why not turn up the Australian?
Yeah, put Crocodile Dundee in there.
Put Dundee in there or something. More Australia references.
Get him to fly over the bridge.
Because this was what was the release date of this again? 94? 94. Oh, well, the Australian boom over in the States was sort of over by then. It was well after Crocodile Dundee, so they probably weren't into it anymore. But in the prior
We're just getting Yahoo Serious movies.
Oh, Jesus. Yahoo Serious, that saying doesn't make any sense. I can't remember the name of the movie. Yahoo Serious Film Festival?
Yeah, I think it was Film Festival.
Yeah.
So IMDb gave that one an 8.1.
That is a liberty. That is not an 8.1 episode. Why did people rate it so highly?
Let's look.
They're just taking the piss out of me, I think. Because, yeah, man, there's nothing going on.
They did give Beauty and the Beast an 8.2.
Ah, yeah, that's madness. All right, it's time for tally time now. What do we got?
So, yeah, Beast's weird quotes didn't actually quite anything. But
No, he just said odd shit.
Yeah.
Said easy things in a difficult way.
And we got 4 claw draws.
Mm-hmm.
So 4 plus the 44 that we already had is 48.
Mm-hmm.
Plus so we had 44, which was the same as we had for season 1. So we've gone over season 1's total with 2 episodes to go. And so now we're on 92.
Racking up them claw draws, baby.
No bubs, so still on 5.
Bubbless.
And no Jean faints. How about any sound effects? Find any?
No sound effects this time. I think it's going to be pretty quiet on the sound effects until the Sentinels rock up.
And
again.
you had your denied claw attack.
And one denied claw attack. I thought that I remembered just from before watching, I thought, okay, there's going to be heaps of denied claw attacks. And we haven't had that many. I think there's one when Wolverine tried to kill Gambit in the danger room at the very first episode, and this one. And that was it for Tally Time. We've got no Generation mailbag or shout-outs, no Marvel movie news, and that's about it. So we're closing up on probably one of the shortest episode ever. We're unedited. We're at 49 minutes. So anyone, this is gonna be a really short episode, unless you want us to talk about Xena Warrior Princess some more. But yeah, that's about it. Yeah, I think the reason we're not talking Marvel movie news is Ant-Man 2's coming out soon. Not much to say about that. Dark Phoenix, they've released some toys and let's just see their costumes, and it's just Venom coming out later on in the year. And Comic-Con's coming up soon, and Marvel hasn't got anything to announce. You reckon they're going to drop a trailer for Ms. Marvel, Captain Marvel, or Infinity War Part 2 at all?
Yeah, it might tell you what Infinity War Part 2 is going to be called.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I mean, because they've really got nothing to announce.
What's the word on that? It's like Endgame or something. Someone keeps saying.
Or was it Avengers Endgame, you reckon?
Yeah, that was what the whisper is. There's
that
also
sounds a bit cliche, though.
What was
Sounds like the fourth
Spider-Man one come out too? Tom Holland fucked up again.
It wasn't Homecoming, but something to do. You can't go home again or something like that.
Something about home.
I'll look it up in a sec.
Because he stuffed that up again. Can't tell that black anything.
Well, he's just a pup, isn't he? He's just really, really Far From Home.
There you go.
Spider-Man Far From Home set photos. First look at Tom Holland's blah, 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 blah. Who do you reckon the villain's going to be for that? Has that been announced yet?
It was one of the 5, wasn't it?
One of the 5 of the Sinister Six. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, was it Mysterio?
That's it. It was Mysterio.
Ah, here we go. We're going to see Mysterio.
Because apparently Vulture's going to be back in some sort of scene, probably in prison.
Yeah, still in prison.
Yeah.
And then, what's his name? Mysterio going to get chucked in there with him. And the next one will be what? Who's else is in the Sinister Six? Scorpion. Come on. Get Scorpion happening. I like Scorpion.
So who is the 6?
The 6?
That's 3.
There's Vulture. I've forgotten the other
Mysterio.
one. Mysterio. Scorpion.
Doc Ock?
Doc Ock, that's right. Rhino and Shocker, I believe.
Right.
But it's different. I'm going off the animated series because Vulture wasn't in it. There was somebody else in there.
Okay. It was Shocker, yeah. Hobgoblin and Green Goblin, Chameleon,
There's no
Lizard.
Yeah. Well, yeah. All of the villains.
Craven,
yeah. Venom, Kingpin.
Yeah.
I know Kingpin run them.
Yeah.
In the animated series, but it's a random 6 every time because I've had comic books where Hobgoblin's a part of the Sandman as well.
Sandman.
I've already done Sandman, but I want to see Scorpion. So
Yeah.
give Scorpion, Hobgoblin. That's what I want to see.
Yep.
But yeah, Far From Home, and not too much else in the Marvel movie news other than Comic-Con, the biggest comic book convention around. Marvel hasn't announced anything, so I'd wager that they're going to release something as a surprise. A teaser for Captain Marvel or a teaser for Avengers Endgame. I said, no, that can't be right. That's too stock of a title. It can't be. It might as well be Avengers Insurrection or something stupid like that. Resurrection. There you go.
Avengers Reassemble.
Reassemble again. But yeah, they can't have DC have all the glory with Aquaman trailer dropping.
No, that's not any glory.
I'll be going to see it. Come on, Aquaman.
You and no one else.
Swim hard. Talk to all the fish. Can he talk to whales, you reckon?
I don't know.
They're not fish. Oh, well, yeah, in the movie he says he talks to the ocean. It's very vague. Anyway, that's DC news, not us.
Who cares?
I care, but not us. Hey, do you want to do the outro this time,
No,
Brooksy?
I'm good.
You're good?
What would my outro be?
We've been talking about it for a while. That when are you going to do the intro? When am you going to do the outro?
You got the intro nailed now.
So I was considering going off script for the intro.
Yeah.
But for some reason, even with the script, I keep stuffing up the outro. I'm going to leave this in, by the way. Because viewers and listeners, this happens every time. I can't get the outro out of my mouth. But I won't have the outro. I want to have it there just to bookend everything. Anyway, I'm going to have another crack at it.
Here we go.
Take 2. All right, it's time for the social media shout-outs. Rate and subscribe to us on iTunes and Podbean. You can also find us on Podcast Addict, Pocket Casters, and now Stitcher. If you're on iTunes, give us a star rating so we can have an average. I want to see how many stars we're worth. Like and share our page on Facebook at Generation X-Men. Share us to any X-Men fans or Marvel fans who'd like to hear 2 Australians bang on about mutants for an hour. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at GenXmenPod for some behind-the-scenes photos, videos, and Meme Monday. Or you can contact us via Facebook IM or by email, generationxmenpodcast@gmail.com. Also on YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube.
So what's up for us next time, Brooks?
Next episode is number 26, Season 2, Episode 13, Reunion Part 2.
Now, this is going to be the money. Of all episodes, this one's in the rewatch list that I watch all the time. I don't know why. I think because I remember it being sort of action-packed. Let's see if my memory is good, because I used to rewatch it a fair bit as a kid. I think I might have accidentally taped over Part 1. And I managed to salvage Part 2.
Final episode of Season 2.
Yeah, it's going to be, I reckon it'll be a big one, because you got to deliver. After all these goddamn Savage Land teasers, building up to this, it's got to be good. It's got to be good. Alright, that's it from us here at Generation X-Men. Hope you've had as much fun listening as we've had talking. Wherever you are in the world, thank you for your time and attention. Next time, we've got Reunion Part 2 with Breakdown, Tally Time, and Claw Draw. Like the Terminator, we'll be back. And we look forward to your company then. Thanks for hosting, Brooksy.
No worries, Bender. Take it easy, mate.
Okay, bye-bye now.
See ya.